Today's trading session was interesting. I was actually able to take my very first ES trade, which I have not done on the challenge account yet. I've only been trading the Nasdaq. So I was able to grab an ES contract. Only saw a few different setups today. So let's go and dive into the recap. News wise today, we did have news drop at 7:30. US durable goods. You can see the pump out of it on the price action. We got pending home sales at 9 o'clock. Got Fed talking at 9:30. Not too worried about that. I think we're going to be able to find some trades today. I hope we're going to be able to find some trades today. Just about being patient though. That's the name of the game, right? As far as standings in the current World Cup challenge goes, World Cup of trading, their standings page is all sorts of effed. So I don't know. Obviously this person's not up 765.7%. So I was thinking maybe like, yeah, I don't really know, but this is all sorts of screwed right now. So I'm just going to assume someone's up like 100% and I'm hunting for the top 5. So can't really talk about this too much today because this is all sorts of screwy and hopefully they fix it today. I currently am sitting at 36% up. So $13,615. I start with 10K. So I'm 36% up. From a daily perspective, this is where we're at. I don't see a ton, like obviously trending somewhat to the downside. Nice push pre-market, obviously to the upside. I'm not going to take too much into account there. I want to be having just base hits and being patient for them. We'll see what Rocket Scooter says at the open. It tapped the irrational level off of the news pump. It was at 149.25, I think. So we'll see what Rocket Scooter says at the open on direction. And then outside of that, like I just want to be following and being patient for my setups to happen. And that's what I'm going to do. Triple Qs has a BLU on Rocket Scooter with monthly hedge pressure and hedge pressure rate at the same level. BLU is their bullish signal. So if we look at the liquidity map, so bounce off hedge pressure or bounce off monthly, the yellow line. So if we're looking at the SPY here, monthly and hedge is right there. So in theory, looking at longs right here, triple Qs, bounce off hedge pressure, which is kind of through right now, technically irrational at that point. And then monthly hedge pressure down here. The SPY one is pretty interesting though. I want to see how we react. Here's the test of the ES hedge pressure. I'm long one on the ES. I want to see if this hedge pressure play will play out, at least for a little bit. This is my first trade on the account on the ES, actually. It's early in the day, but we're sitting right at the level that I want to take it. So I'm going to take it on the ES, and I'm going to be patient on the NAS and see what happens there. I have some form of a bracket that I don't know how I have on here, FYI. I don't know how I had that bracket. I saw a stop get put in. I didn't even see that limit order up there. I have no idea how I set that up. So I went ahead and just killed both and have my limit trade going. Yeah, I have no idea how I got to that bracket. I'd love to go see us trade into the 20s up here. 19, 20, both those almost 400 blocks up there. Got 300 sitting at 15 at the overnight highs. I feel like if we break the overnight highs, we probably sweep it pretty hard and fast, but I'm going to kind of let the price action dictate what I do there. Market's been open for what, 17, almost 18 minutes. I got into this trade very early at the day because of monthly hedge pressure and hedge pressure with the BLU on Rocket Scooter. Just wanted to see how it would play out. I'm taking it on the ES obviously because it's a lot slower. It's also, it just looked like a better setup on the ES per the Rocket Scooter parameters that I've been wanting to trade on. So all that to say, I am currently long on the ES. Obviously I'm down 1.5 or so, waiting to see what happens. It's a much lower stress trade than it would be on the Nasdaq right now, just because of the Nas typically moves about 4 times as much. So being able to risk this amount on the ES is a lot less stress. I want to see us pop it obviously, but it's just having a hard time right now. We do have that 4K magnet and VWAP down below. I don't know if we get there or not. Pretty choppy so far. Not a whole lot to comment on, not a whole lot to do other than just kind of wait. Trading the ES right now. First trade on this account on the ES on the challenge account. Exclamation point challenge. If you haven't watched the video yet, exclamation point challenge. I dropped it on Saturday morning. 5-minute candles closing here in 20 seconds. Closing as of right now like a doji, but we'll see if we get a hard sweep either way into the close. Back to point of control. Back to the blue line algo, which is my average price, entry price. Always the strongest support and or strongest resistance. Whatever you don't want it to be, it's always what it's the strongest. All right, coming back up to that prior high ish. You can see it better on the 5-minute chart. Back to value area high. I feel like I should probably, I want to see this quick sweep of the overnight highs to push us into this. I can always just manually cancel that. But that's kind of the goal. I'm putting a stop in place here. I don't want to watch this thing go against me, obviously. So I do have a stop in place. Ideally, this thing runs into a target of some sorts, but that's more just for the mental. We're obviously like green right now on this trade, so I'm not going to let it just like quick sweep to the downside when it looks like it's kind of happening right now. I'm basically looking for when we sweep the overnight to get hit out at 18.5, another 5 points or so in a perfect world. Don't know if that happens. We'll see. Got top of the hour with that housing data dropping in like 10 seconds. I have my stop in place. Feels like we push this, but we'll see. I'm fine to let this run into the top of the hour. All right, just ran through 15 or hit 15. Looking for the quick push. I'm out. Close enough. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think we still sweep up into the 20s, to be perfectly honest, but we're just kind of not doing it yet. So I'm anticipating a little bit of a pullback, and I think I would rather just rotate over to the Nasdaq at this point to catch some of those types of moves. I Googled 2 years ago how to day trade and found one of your videos. 1 week before today, I passed my first evaluation challenge. It takes time, but it's totally achievable. GG's, Nexus. Yo, chat, drop a GG for Nexus, by the way. Congrats on passing your evaluation. If you're interested in a funded account, you can check out the first link down below. It's called Top Step. It's a 2-step process. After you pass the 2 steps, they give you money to trade with. You get to keep 90% of that money. They keep 10%, but they're also putting up the risk. I've found it helpful in the past. It actually helped fund my very first trading account.